Welcome to another episode of the Poe Underground Podcast. I am your host, DK McKenzie. In today's episode, I have 5 musical poems I want to share with you. This first piece is written by an English poet named Laurence Hope, otherwise known as Adela Florence Corey Nicholson. She was born in 1865 and spent many years of her life in India. Actually, the name of this poem is Reverie of Muhammad Akram at the Tamarind Tank. It's a very long name for a poem, and the poem itself is very long, and this is just one segment from this particular poem. And before we launch into that, I just want to say that this will probably be one of the most diverse podcast episodes that I've done to date. We have 3 poems and 2 written prose pieces, and the music is quite varied, and the poetry subject matter is also quite varied. And very excited about this podcast episode, and hope you are too. So let's launch into this first piece, and I hope you like it. Beyond our tents, the sands stretch level and far around this little oasis of tamarind trees. A curious eastern fragrance fills the breeze from the ruinous temple garden where roses are. I dream of the rose-like perfume that fills your hair, of times when my lips were free of your soft closed eyes, while down in the tank the waters ripple and rise. The flying foxes silently cleave the air. The present is subtly welded into the past. My love of you with the purple Indian dusk, with its clinging scent of sandal, incense, and musk, and withering jasmine flowers. My eyes grow dim, and my senses fail at last, while the lonely hours follow each other, silently, one by one, till the night is almost done. Then weary and drunk with dreams, with my garments damp and heavy with dew, I wander towards the camp, tired with a brain in which fancy and fact are blent, and then to rest, to ensweeten my sleep with lies, to dream I lie in the light of your long lost eyes, my lips set free, to love and linger over your soft, loose hair, to dream I lay your delicate beauty bare, to solace my fevered eyes. Ah, if my life might end in a night like this, drift into death from dreams of your granted kiss. And this next piece is by the American poet Robert Frost. I believe this is a first. I don't think we've covered Robert Frost in our podcast to date. He was born in San Francisco in 1847, and he was the only poet to ever receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry, which is quite interesting. The name of this piece is called Acquainted with the Night, and I hope you like it. Let's launch into it. I have been acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have walked out the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet, when far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street. But not to call me back or say goodbye, and further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaim the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night. All right, that was Robert Frost, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very excited to present this next piece. I found some classical orchestral music that I've been dying to showcase on this podcast that has a flexible license that we can use for this podcast, so I was very happy to add poetry to this next piece, which is one of my favorite musical pieces. You're probably familiar with this piece, whether you like classical music or not. It is called In the Hall of the Mountain King. It is by the Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg, who was born in 1875. This piece was written for a play that's called Peer Gynt, which was written in 1867. So what I wanted to do is showcase poetry that did justice to the music, and that was going to be a very tall order. Like I said, this is one of my favorite pieces. So what I ended up doing was looking at the original play, translated into English, and was able to grab some dialogue from that play, which I'm very happy to represent here. So the dialogue that I'm going to present comes from 3 different characters in the play. I put it together, and I think it came out very well. I had to rehearse it because I did it in one take. And I'm very happy the way it came out, and without further ado, let us launch into In the Hall of the Mountain King. Hope you like it. What a delectable morning tide. The dung beetle's rolling his ball in the dust. The snail creeps out of his dwelling house. The morning, aye, it has gold in its mouth. It's a wonderful power when you think of it, that nature has given to the light of day. One feels so secure and so much more courageous, one would gladly at need take a bull by the horns. What a stillness all around. Ah, the joys of nature. Strange enough I should never have prized them before. Why go and imprison oneself in a city for no end, but just to be bored by the mob? Just look how the lizards are whisking about, snapping and thinking of nothing at all. What innocence, even in the life of the beasts. Each fulfills a creator's behest unimpeachably, preserving its own special stamp undefaced. Is itself both in sport and in strife, itself as it was at its primal. Be! Nights full of heaviness, blank empty days, brought me the message that now I must come. It seemed as though life had been quenched down there. I could nor laugh nor weep from the depths of my heart. I knew not for sure how you might be minded. I knew but for sure what I should do and must do. All things are against me with wrathful might. Heaven and the waters and the grisly mountains. Foxguts from heaven roll down to bewilder him. The treacherous waters are lurking to murder him. The mountains would crush him with landslip and rift. And the people too, they were out after his life. God knows they shan't have it. I can't bear to lose him. Oh, the oaf, to think that the fiend should tempt him. It's a terrible thing to look fate in the eyes, and of course one is glad to be quit of one's cares, and try one can to hold thinking aloof. Some take to brandy and others to lies, and we took to fairy tales of princes and trolls and all sorts of beasts. And this next piece is by another American writer, and I believe this is also the first time that we showcase him on this podcast. And this is none other than Edgar Allan Poe, who was born in Boston in 1809 to parents who were professional actors. Edgar Allan Poe is commonly referred to as the creator of the modern horror tale, science fiction, and detective stories. And this is actually prose from his short story called Silence. And without further ado, let's launch into it. The region of which I speak is a dreary region in Libya, by the borders of the river Zaire, and there is no quiet there, nor silence. The waters of the river have a saffron and sickly hue, and they flow not onwards to the sea, but palpitate forever and forever beneath the red eye of the sun, with a tumultuous and convulsive motion. For many miles on either side of the river's oozy bed is a pale desert of gigantic water lilies. They sigh, one unto the other in that solitude, and stretch towards the heaven their long and ghastly necks, and nod to and fro their everlasting heads. And there is an indistinct murmur which cometh out from among them, like the rushing of subterrene water, and they sigh one unto the other. And this last piece is prose written by a scientist you all have heard of. His name is Galileo, who is considered the father of modern science. This prose comes from two books that he had written. The first book was called The Assayer, which was written in 1623. And then the last passage comes from another book that he wrote called Dialogues Concerning Two New Sciences, which was published in 1632. And anyway, hope you like it, and let's launch into this one. Philosophy is written in this grand book. I mean the universe, which stands continually open to our gaze, but it cannot be understood unless one first learns to comprehend the language and interpret the characters in which it is written. It is written in the language of mathematics, and its characters are triangles, circles, and other geometrical figures, without which it is humanly impossible to understand a single word of it. Without these, one is wandering about in a dark labyrinth. Facts which at first seem improbable will, even on scant explanation, drop the cloak which has hidden them and stand forth in naked and simple beauty. And that is it for today's episode of the Poe Underground Podcast. I hope you all have been enjoying your summer, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. DK Mackenzie signing off. Take care.